Assalamu alaikum class. Today our topic of discussion is the solute and water transport in the loop of Henle. Loop of Henle is a part of nephron and it has functionally three segments: thin ascending segment, thin descending segments, and the thick ascending segments. Here you can see from the diagram that this is a diagram of nephron. This is the descending limb, and this is the thin ascending limb, and this is the thick ascending limb of loop of Henle. Now descending part is a highly permeable to most of the solutes, that is the urea and the sodium, and it is also permeable for the water. 20% of water is absorbed in the loop of Henle. Ascending limb is impermeable to water, and it is very important in concentrating the urine. In the case of scarcity of the water, urine is concentrated and the water is reabsorbed in the body, and in case of when water is available in the plenty, extra water is removed from the body through the urine. Thick segment of loop of Henle has high metabolic rate or active reabsorption of the sodium chloride and the potassium ions. 25% of filter rods of sodium chloride and potassium, they are reabsorbed in the loop of Henle. And next is the thin ascending segment. A thin segment of ascending limb have low absorptive capacity of solutes. Sodium potassium ATPase pump are present in the basolateral wall of the epithelial cells, and this sodium potassium ATPase pump causes the breakdown of the ATP, and it is involved in the solute reabsorption along the basolateral walls of the epithelial cells. In the renal tubules, intracellular concentration of the sodium or the sodium concentration within the cell is kept low. This low concentration inside the cell favors the movement of the sodium from the tubular lumen into the cell. In luminal wall, 1 sodium, 2 chloride, 1 potassium co-transporters are present, and these co-transporters helps in the movement of the in the movement of the ions into the cells. Similarly, sodium hydrogen exchanger is also present, and this sodium hydrogen exchanger is also involved in the movement of the sodium and hydrogen into the tubules. Here you can see in the diagram that these are the tubular cells. This is the sodium and hydrogen exchanger. Sodium moves, this is the tubular lumen, these are the tubular cells, this is the renal interstitial fluid. Sodium moves from tubular lumen into the tubular cell, and hydrogen moves in return of sodium into the tubular lumen. Here 1 sodium, 2 chloride, and 1 potassium co-transporters or proteins are present. These ions moves with each other or co-transport with each other. Now the chloride moves outside the tubular cell into the renal interstitial fluid. This is the sodium potassium ATPase pump. Sodium move outside the cell from the or you can say from the tubular cell into the renal interstitial fluid, and the potassium moves into the cell in return with the sodium, and this process is powered by ATP, or you can say that ATP is utilized here. Large cations, for example magnesium and the sodium, as well as calcium, as well as other sodium and potassium, they also moves into the interstitial fluid, and they took the paracellular diffusion pathway. Paracellular pathway is the movement occur through the space present between two cells. Mostly tubular lumen have +8 millivolt charge, and diuretics are also present, and these diuretics, which causes the release of more urine, act on these co-transporters, and in this way more and more urine is released from the body. That is the completion of the topic. Thank you.